welcome. If you are watching this video, I am assuming that you are on your own spiritual path and or are awakening or have awakened. Throughout this video, I am going to show you firsthand what my spiritual path has looked like, and all leading up to my awakening and to where I am currently. Every video that I've watched on this platform is typically someone explaining to me what their experience was like. What I am going to show you is firsthand what my thoughts and my feelings and my experiences were at a specific time. All of the videos that you are about to watch are going to be dated, and it is going to be mildly scatterbrained. I started recording these videos for myself so that I could basically journal how I was feeling, what I was thinking about, what was on my mind. And I did this with some sort of inkling that I was going to share this with other people. And maybe that's strange, but here I am. This video goes back about 2 years ago. I believe that life happens in cycles, and I feel like right now I am ending a really intense cycle of deep healing, and you will see that within this video. You can see how much I've changed, as well as my outlook has changed throughout this video, but I think there is something there that is consistent, and that is faith. And for a long time, I didn't know what my faith was in. It was just blind faith into something unknown, and I've had the honor and the pleasure to figure out what that is for me and define my faith. And even though I am ever changing, I believe it's really interesting to go back and see where I was compared to where I am now. And I really want to show you that in order to be on this path, it is very intense. It is alienating. It is scary. And that a lot of emotions will come up. But we must have faith. That is all for a reason. And I'm just going to get right into it. The first clip is an intense one, and it moves throughout. I tried to make it so it at least had some sort of cohesion, but again, they are at random times and random dates of just how I was feeling in the moment. I love you, and hopefully you will stay with me during this video and see how difficult it can be, and hopefully it will allow you to continue on your path. Here we go.
I think depression, I still struggle to say that I have it, even though I think I've struggled with it pretty harshly. In the past few years, it's been worse than when I was younger. I think when I was younger, I always had depression as well. I was a very emotional child. I was upset, and it was more than I think was normal for somebody my age. Being a young child, there was a lot of trauma that I was put through. My mom was in an abusive relationship. And so a lot of times I watched her get beaten, and I mean, it didn't happen to me, but it was hard to deal with. It was hard to understand that how somebody could love somebody and that happened.
I also have been through a very abusive relationship in which the person would beat me. Like, I don't know how to put it in other words. Like, literally, I had 2 black eyes on Thanksgiving that I had to hide from everyone. And so I think it's fair to say that I've had traumatic experiences. Coming into adulthood and understanding myself has been really difficult for me, especially when it comes to things like love, because my first boyfriend ever that I was with for a very long time beat the shit out of me. And so that was really, really difficult for me to understand and to overcome, and I'm still going through the process. I think I'm so much better with dealing with things and coping, and I think I've definitely come to terms with a lot of that. But like, I'm still terrified. Like, I used to, like, for months go through my whole entire house just to check to see if my ex-boyfriend had broken into my house, because he'd done it multiple times. Like, I was that afraid. In August, when I got robbed, like, that came back. Like, I was locking, I have 5 locks on my door. I locked all 5 of them. Like, that's insane, because I feel like I just have a very, 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 like, distrust for men. And I'm trying to overcome that. And basically, I've been thinking a lot about, like, how trauma affects you later in life, because a lot of people are haunted by their traumas, and I think sometimes that scares me. Like, my mother is a drug addict. A lot of the reason why is because she was susceptible to it, because she's been through so much. Does your trauma make you more susceptible? And if that's so, do we overcome that? How do we continuously fight that? Is it worth fighting? Why can't we let go of the past? Can we live our day-to-day lives without thinking about our past? And how do we do that? Is it becoming more aware of our thoughts when we think about those things? Or is it really living in the present? Like, there's so many philosophies out there, and I've heard people discuss living in the present, but can you truly live in the present? Is it possible? And I think it is, to an extent, because if you think about it, we collectively as humans forget things so quickly. Like, even through generations, like, we cannot experience what other people experience.
So, I've been thinking a lot, I guess, about, well, first of all, drugs and drug addiction, and just awful things, like, I don't know, like, how fucked up this world is, and how it's just so fucked up what people do to other people. Like, humans can be so monstrous. For what? I don't know. Everything just kind of feels like a lie. We really don't know what is true, because truth is relative. And not only that, a lot of these systems have been in works for hundreds of thousands of years, and these systems of oppression or whatever it is need to be broken down, and it's never going to happen unless the world literally ends. It's just crazy. The limits people will go, and now we're literally killing ourselves with drugs, alcohol, chemicals in our food, and it's just like a vicious cycle. When does it end? When does it fucking end?
Today I feel like I'm going to be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Anyways, to get to the thick of it, I feel like my life has been pretty hectic. I'm eating a sandwich. Anyways, my life has been pretty hectic, and I feel like it's always hectic. And if you know me personally, you know I literally go through hell and back every 2 months, legitimately. And I'm always constantly going through things, and that sounds almost pretentious to think that I'm constantly going through things, but in reality, like, I deal with a lot of shit every day of my life, and I carry a lot of other people's pain, and some people can't handle that, and I think that I deal with it pretty well. But obviously I'm human, and obviously I have mental illnesses, so it does get very difficult for me. But I did want to discuss kind of life and how completely fragile it is, and how in this life all that we have are our connections. And I feel like my connections for the past, I don't know, few months, years, have become so much more prominent in my life, and so many things have jeopardized that, and that has become to the forefront of my mind. And I think it's so important for us to engage with how we are feeling so that we can engage with the people around us and think about the relationships in our life. And I guess I'm just here to say that things are going to be okay. And I guess I'm telling myself things are going to be okay. But if you needed to hear that today, I love you. You got this. And I hope your day gets better.
I'm so tired of being afraid. I'm ready to plunge into places that I have never been. And this heartbreak won't break me, just like the other ones never broke me. I am a survivor. I am resilient. And I will make something of this. I will not be stagnant. I will grow into the best person that I can be, and I am thankful for the opportunities to cross paths with people who didn't deserve me, and I can only hope that their paths will become clearer, and I hope they know that I have unconditional love for them, even if it's not necessarily romantic love, but something guided me to them, and I don't know why, and I don't know why it was meant to happen this way, and I don't know what's to come next, but I know that this was the push that I needed. It just feels like my soul is being crushed over and over, and I know no one will understand, and that's okay. It's not how the universe works. I'm just hurting so bad, and I don't know what to do anymore, and it just feels like it just keeps coming back, and I don't know I don't know what to do anymore. I just don't know, because I know that I became capable of doing things. It's just, I don't know why I don't do them. I just don't. I don't know. Am I lazy? Am I just, I don't get it, and people just walk all over me. I'm just hurting. And I know I'll be okay. And it'll work out, but I just feel like such a failure.
March 29th, 2019. At the beginning of 2019, I wrote a letter to myself. Dear my love, this is the year of surrender. Follow your gut, connect with your destiny, release your fear, conquer your heart. Feel, love, sing, dance, play, create, align. You can be whatever you want. You do not need to limit yourself to please anyone. Be adventurous, be wholehearted. Remember, it is okay to rest. And forgive yourself for the what ifs. March 2019 changed my life, changed my outlook. I had a mystical experience with the divine that is unwavering to my faith. For some of us, it happens gradually. For others, it's like we get hit by a bus. For me, it was a jet. And for that, I am grateful. I thought it was important to showcase my life prior to this experience and kind of what I was going through before and what led me to this spiritual awakening and how I got there and how I had to really look inwards in order to heal and in order to understand myself better, and how the growing pains were for me. And not saying that they ever go away, but I was very lost and confused, and I didn't fully grasp what the divine was and what faith meant to me. And I think you can see that throughout the video. However, what you can also see throughout that video is how divinely guided I was and how much my guides and source was with me, and how I was used as a channel with all of the times that I said everything's going to be okay, because intuitively I really did know everything was going to be okay, and my guides and source were telling me that. And I'm really thankful for all of the experiences that I've had, and I'm really thankful. For some reason I thought to pick up a camera and record myself in those moments of vulnerability and being hurt. I thought it was important to showcase my life prior to this experience and kind of what I was going through before and what led me to this spiritual awakening, and how I got there and how I had to really look inwards in order to heal and in order to understand myself better, and how the growing pains were for me. And not saying that they ever go away, but I was very lost and confused, and I didn't fully grasp what the divine was and what faith meant to me. And I think you can see that throughout the video. However, what you can also see throughout that video is how divinely guided I was and how much my guides and source was with me, and how I was used as a channel with all of the times that I said everything's going to be okay, because intuitively I really did know everything was going to be okay, and my guides and source were telling me that. And I'm really thankful for all of the experiences that I've had, and I'm really thankful. For some reason I thought to pick up a camera and record myself in those moments of vulnerability and being hurt.